Here's my question for you. When you go up against a guy like Pablo, okay, and like I was saying earlier, if this is the threshold, he's willing to go here, right? And you, as a DEA, you're confined into certain things that you have to follow. Like you can't go past certain things they tell you. Now, at least this is what we see as a citizen from the outside. I'm not on the inside, because you hear both negative and positive. There's stuff that says don't even trust a government official, about FBI, CIA, DEA. You hear all this stuff, right? If you're going up against a guy that's going to cross the line, he's going to cheat, no matter what. How do you beat a guy like that that's willing to cheat, that you're confined in some of the rules that you have to follow?
That's a really good question. And not to get on our soapboxes here, but in our lives, there are a few things that we actually control. You have 3 children, 3 small children, right? You make your plans, but then your child comes home and says, Dad, I've got a project due in the morning. Your whole evening's plans just changed. So there's a lot of things in our lives that we really don't control. We think we do, but we don't, because there's a lot of outside interferences. But there's absolutely one thing in every one of our lives that we control individually, and that is our integrity. Now, we'll tell you right up front, we broke rules, policies, and procedures on a regular basis in Colombia. We have never, never, never broken the law. We never stepped across that line.
How do you control that, dude? Because let me explain to you what I see from my standpoint, right? You cross the line with me on my family side, I'm sorry. It's just, this is blood, right? This guy's willing to go at all cost. How do you go up against that to match it? It's very tough to match it. Like I remember one time, what did Reagan say? Reagan said, I don't negotiate with terrorists. Remember how that line, I don't negotiate with terrorists? Of course you're not going to negotiate with terrorists, because you either do this, I'm going to kill you. He's going to kill you no matter what. So this is not a regular guy you're facing. How does an organization like you match up against? And I'm not talking integrity-wise. Because you know how in the series it shows Colonel Carrillo, right? That's not a real character, it's really Hugo Martinez. In the series it shows the fact that there was one guy he was afraid of and he was intimidated of because he could match his terror at that level, and a guy like that is always afraid of somebody that's willing to match that. How do you put the fear in a guy like him? Was the strategy to go after the cousin, the COO, Gustavo, so he kind of cripples him? That's the part I really want to know, because what you guys thought about.
Yeah, one of the best things that ever happened is that Steve and I lived at the search block base. The school was called the Carlos Holguin School, and it was in the middle of a neighborhood, so we slept there, we ate with and we had a specialized group of cops working with them. Like Steve said, we went out on operations pretty much every day, so we knew what was going on. We were trusted by our group, they trusted us. And
this is the Colombian group?
The Colombian, yeah. It's called the DIJÍN group of the Colombian National Police, the DIJÍN, D-I-J-I-N.
Is that considered their DEA, or is that their police?
It's their specialized unit, sort of investigative, plainclothes unit, their narcotic unit. And we knew this guy's working with them in Bogota, so they knew us. So
from different projects?
From different projects. So when Pablo Escobar, they handpicked these guys, because they had picked some guys from Medellin, but Pablo would get to their families. They were corrupt, so they would tell Pablo, when they were coming for him. So these guys all came from different areas. It was very interesting. At the beginning, there was a lot of phone calls being made. We credit Colonel Martinez came in and pretty much did not tell anybody, where the operations were, just kept it at a select few. No phone calls from anywhere, load up at night, we're going here. So we would have the convoy of trucks. The base was made up of uniformed police officers, also handpicked, and the investigative unit. So it was great, because the investigative unit would come back, boss, we think we got Pablo located. All right, uniformed officers, mount up. And they were from a group called Gaula, which was their specialized, it was jungle operation type guys. The concept, which is what I think DEA did right, was more of a world type concept where they said, Colombia, you go after Pablo Escobar in Colombia, United States, DEA, we're gonna go after Pablo Escobar wherever he's at, all over the world. Europe, Miami, New York, DEA. So our offices, which was a brand new concept, were instructed, you go after anybody that's associated with Pablo Escobar, which was great. So we were attacking him in the United States, and the Colombians were attacking him in Colombia. So this is the first time that we see a structure of an organization that you're going to attack it at both sides.